everybody. I'm Steph Hodge with Board Game Geek. Here today joining me is David from Kids Table Board Games. We get to look at his own design called Fossilis. Make sure, did I say that right, David? I don't want to make it wrong.
Fossilis, yeah.
Excellent. So, David, as you are the designer, I can ask you all these development questions and where did you come up with this idea? Why the theme? All of that. Can you tell me a little bit about the origin of this game?
Sure. So the actual origin was from a conversation I had with my wife. She was telling me how my son had been digging fossils in the sand at school. And she said, why don't you try and design a game around that? And that was literally, that's all it took to get my, my brain going and trying to figure out how I would implement that as a board game. And yeah, really quickly, the idea for, I thought about cardboard, but I didn't think it would slide very well. And I grew up with a Cuban family playing a lot of dominoes with my grandfathers and uncles, and those slide around so nice. So I found these square dominoes and started playing around with those. I built the base out of Lego, and that was it. That's how it started.
That's amazing. I love that. I love dominoes too. So so if it's the same kind of quality, I'm very excited to see and feel and play with this game. So can you tell us a little bit about the overall mechanics on what we'll be doing, and maybe we can jump into a few rounds?
Sure. So Lincoln actually just put the top on there. That's what you use to set up. The setup we came up with is really cool. Because underneath all those tiles are recesses where bones are hiding, right? So yeah, you can remove one of them to show everybody what's under there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to be hiding bones under there. Before the tiles are put on, you put that cover and you shake the whole thing just to randomize it. While the cover's on, you'll put that scoreboard. On the other side is kind of a diagram for where all the terrain goes, and you slide it into it. You take the cover off, you put all the tiles on, and then you the event card right there on the right, or the action card, that gets slotted in, and you get to pull the score board out, and then it's all set up. It's a really neat way to set up the game, because we wanted it to. Originally, it was just, you scatter them yourselves, but then people can see where some bones might lie, and we wanted to eliminate that. So, Josh Capel actually and Sean came up with that mechanism to do it, and it's really great.
Yeah, that keeps everything hidden and everything in place. Everything seems really nice and organized, even though you say you're shaking it up. I'm like, how is that even possible? But so that sounds really cool.
So on the board, you'll see there's 3 types of terrain. There's sand, clay, and stone. And each of them has what we call fragments. There's dinosaur eggs, dinosaur footprints, and amber. Those are used to buy tools and supplies, and you'll see you've got 4 meeples on there. So you're playing as paleontologists. We call that the dig site. So you're going to be moving around the dig site. You're going to be clearing away layers of the terrain. You're going to be collecting those fragments to trade for tools and supplies, and you can discover the bones hidden underneath to complete the dinosaur fossils, which are the cards on the right there with the beautiful artwork.
Nice. So how can one claim a tile? Is that an action?
Okay, so you play on actions. Each player has 4 actions on their turn. That little blue cardboard on the right kind of reminds people what actions they can take. On the events card there on the top is the pile of plaster. That's the main resource of the game. Because when paleontologists dig up fossils, and they cover them up in plaster to take them. So that was a really cool idea that I actually got from a paleontologist student that I met during development to try and get thematic ideas for the game. So that's really cool. One of the things you can do. It was really great. She gave me a lot of good, again, thematic elements that I could inject into the game and figure out how to put them into it. and plaster was one of them, as well as the fragments. So one of the things you can do is take plaster off the event card. You can move paleontologist. You can also, you're able to push other meeples off the board. So one action is to get back on the board if you've been pushed off. Yeah. And then sliding the tiles. So like I said, there's 3 different types of terrain. There's sand, clay, and stone. You can push sand for 1 action, clay for 2 actions, and stone for 3. And it also depends on how strong the terrain is. So sand can push sand, but it can't push clay or stone. If you're pushing clay, you can push sand with it, but not stone. And if you're pushing stone, it moves everything in its path.
And so you're literally going to be pushing these things. You're literally just going to be like pushing it off.
Yeah, you're going to slide off the board. Anything that comes off the dig site becomes yours. So you get to keep those fragments to use for tools and supplies, which are on the left there. And then you're going to be revealing the bones underneath. So the last action is an extraction. So if you have the proper amount of plaster, so at the bottom there's the player boards. Lincoln, I don't know if you want to show one of those close up. Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
So you can see right there, there's 5 different types of bones. We've got claws, we've got the leg bones, the ribs, the hips, and the skulls. Those are all hidden in there, and they're all worth different amount of points on their own, but they're also used to complete the dinosaur fossil sets. Underneath them, you'll see how much plaster you need to extract one. So as long as on your turn, if your paleontologist meeple is next to a recess with a bone that you want, and you have enough plaster, you can spend an action to extract one of those and spend the plaster. And the other thing you can see on the right there is there's rock hammers hidden in there as well. If you can extract the rock hammer for free. Yeah, that's it right there. And up on the score track in the middle, there's 9 different skills that you can take. And you have 3 slots for skills on your player board. And they do lots of different things, like let you push tiles different ways, give you points, give you extra plaster. It really changes up how you can play throughout the game.
And so are there only 9, or are there more that get mixed in from game to game?
Yeah, there are more than 9, and you can mix them in different ways each time, so it's always a little different.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So once you take your actions, the next thing you can do is purchase a tool or a supply card. So the tools and supplies will give you things like plaster. They'll also give you bones from the cards, and they'll also let you move the terrain in different ways. So there you can see that heavy chisel. It'll let you slide 1 stone tile 2 spaces in one direction, or 2 stone tiles 1 space each. So again, that's just, and it will give you points. Or there in the top left, it'll give you points. And at the bottom, it tells you.
And are these free actions?
Yeah, so once you have them, once you've bought the cards and they're yours, during your turn, you can use them, any number of them.
Wow. And how much does it cost to purchase one of these cards?
So at the bottom, it'll tell you those tools right there, they're all wild. But on the supply cards, it'll tell you which fragments you need. So you spend the fragments from the tiles you've taken to take those.
I see. So the supplies, the supply cards have specific resources. Oh, okay. So this one has, you need 2 feet.
Yeah. So you need 2 footprints for that one. Yeah.
Or 2 gold. Nice, nice. And so what if you have a tile that has more than 1 resource? Can you get change? Obviously, probably not, but I just wanted to check.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just spend them.
Okay, cool. So on your turn, can you buy any number of tool and supply cards, or just 1 of each? Or
so one card you can purchase after you've taken your actions.
1 card.
And and the third thing, most important thing you can do after you purchase your card is to claim a dinosaur. So basically, if you've taken any bone and you have it on your player board, you can claim a dinosaur that has that bone at the bottom. If you can show one of the dinosaurs close up, maybe with more than one.
Nice.
Yeah. So even with that, if you have one leg bone, you can take that card from the supply and put it what we call your lab, which is on the side of your player board. You can have one dinosaur in your lab at a time, and you'll be able to work on that dinosaur until you complete it. There's two ways to score. You can do a perfect completion, which for that Plateosaurus would be collecting 2 of the leg bones and 1 of the ribs. Or sometimes it might be better to clear your lab to get another dinosaur that you want to finish, and you only score the points for the individual bones you've collected. But if you can finish the entire thing, you'll get bonus points. Because another way you score at the end is by collecting certain types of dinosaurs. As you can pull up 1 or 2 of those dinosaurs again to show up close. Yeah, so in the top left, you'll see that each dinosaur has 3 characteristics. They're what they eat. So if they're a carnivore or a herbivore. The second one is if they're biped, quadruped, avian, if they live in water. And the third one is the age that they existed in. So Triassic, Jurassic, or Cretaceous. And you'll be collecting those and doing set scoring at the end of the game.
Cool. So that's another element to work towards. I like it.
Yeah.
So on your turn, you said you get 4. Sorry? Oh, I was just saying on your turn, you get 4 actions, right? You said, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know if you wanted to run through maybe a couple demo turns so everybody wants to see the sliding. So we have to put that sliding into motion a little bit.
Would love it. Sure.
Yeah.
You want me to start with one of them?
Yeah, because I don't even know what I would do.
Sure. So let's say I'm yellow. I always pick yellow. So I'll be yellow. And I would probably move diagonally. So I would spend 1. You can move up to 2 spaces. So I would move to the stone. And basically you can push anything that's adjacent to you. So I would spend 2 more to push that clay tile up. Up. Yeah. No, up.
The other.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. So I would get that one that fell off. I would keep that. That's my amber. And then I could spend 1 more action to gain some plaster. So I would gain 1 plaster. So plaster always comes off that event deck. Once all the plaster comes off of that, you would actually flip the event. The event would resolve, and then you would refill it with plaster and keep playing. And that's actually what triggers the game end. After the 4th event, you would play 1 more round, and that's the game end.
Cool. So in order to push a tile, you need to be on an adjacent tile.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And
so
it has to be the same level?
No, it can be any level as long as you're adjacent to it.
And you say I can move up to 2 spaces. Do they have to be in the same line of sight, or can I go one way and then go up? Or
okay. Yeah, you can go diagonally. You can go
So I might be the purple player, and I would probably want to move diagonally up and then up totally north, and then right there. And so then if I push, it would take 3 actions for me to push that, right?
Yeah, so you could push that stone you're next to off the board. The
stone I'm next to down south, so I could just like that. Yeah. I don't think I actually.
Well, you wouldn't push the paleontologist. You would just push the top.
Yeah. I just pushed it out. But then that one, that clay fell off. So now I have a cool clay.
Now you have 2 amber. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let me see.
That seemed pretty good, but I don't know. Now, does the actual tile itself matter in terms of like when I turn them in for other cards or anything? Does like clay versus sand mean anything other than just pushing it?
Yeah, the different terrain really just are how you would push it, what like how strong it is and what it could push with it. Once you get it, what matters is what's the fragments on the tile for purchasing the tools and supplies.
I see.
So let's see. So let me, you know what, while I'm there, I'll spend 2 to push the clay with the 2 eggs next to me. I'll push it off the board. Yeah, let's see what's underneath there.
Oh,
looks like we got some hips, some ribs. That's good. Okay, so I would get that tile on my player board.
Wow. So do you actually acquire those findings, or does anybody who goes...
Yeah, right now I don't have enough plaster, but if I can get 2 more plaster, which I can because I used 1 action to move, so I can use my next 2 actions to get 2 plaster. And a rib, I believe, cost 3 plaster or 4 on the player board. Let's just pretend. Let's pretend the rib costs 3. So I would spend my 1. There we go. Ribs 4. Yeah. You know what? Let's just pretend I had a 4th one.
No, it was 3. It was 3.
No, see, so underneath the ribs, it says 4. 3 is the points that they're worth.
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes, so let's pretend I had 4. So we'll fish out the ribs.
Oh my God, I love that.
So now I would have the ribs.
And so if you wanted to use the ribs to help grab a dinosaur for points at the end, you can only use each item once, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't use ribs for 1 dinosaur and another dinosaur.
No. So what I could do now that I spent my actions, I have enough to get a tool. So I could, I could spend my clay and which has the 2 and the amber, and I could purchase either of those tools, and they would go into my supply. Yeah, they just go underneath the board there. And now that I have a rib, do any of those dinosaurs have a rib? There we go. So I would use my last part of my turn would be to claim that Pachycephalosaurus, and I would put it in my lab, which is on the side.
And do you allocate the ribs right away?
Yeah. So because that one only has the 1 bone that I needed, I would score it immediately. So I would get I believe it was 6 points, and I would put my 6 points and move on the score track. And there we go.
Nice.
And how would be your turn again?
You're kicking my butt. Let's see. So I think, and
another dinosaur could come out once. There we go.
I see. So can I push the clay even though the stone is technically 1 higher?
Okay, so that was a good point. I hadn't made that point. So if there's a double stack, you cannot push the lower stack and push it off.
Okay.
That's the one.
And I knew I couldn't do that anyway because I pushed stone via clay anyway. But I just wanted to ask because I wasn't quite sure. So I will actually push the stone that's next to me. It will cost me 3 actions, but I think I'll uncover some goodies there.
Cool.
Woohoo! And got some more stuff. It's like got the findings.
So you've got a rock hammer there. You can extract that for free.
Oh, I can. That's awesome. Does it cost any action to do that?
It costs one action to extract, but no plaster. So you have 1 action left, and that's
all right. Then let's do it. Let's grab those little. Yes. Oh my God, I love the toy factor of this game. It's fantastic. I love
It
it.
looks great. This is my first time
Oh,
seeing it, like the production copy.
it looks so great. Oh
That's
my
great to
goodness,
hear.
yes.
So yeah, now you can pick a skill from the skills.
Oh my goodness. Lincoln, pick the
Yeah.
best one for me. I bet they're all
Yeah, you'll
awesome.
notice that the one on the middle left that's got a little unhappy face. Those are kind of
Yeah.
some take that ones.
Oh, I see. I see.
You can remove those if you don't want them in the game. And that's actually the
Okay.
really
Well,
good
that's good
thing
to know.
about this game that I'd want to mention too. Kids Table board gaming, they say they like to make casual games for serious gamers and serious games for casual players. And so we have a whole list of kind of game mechanics that can be removed from the game and it still plays
Wow.
great. But if you want to play with younger kids, because even when I was playtesting this, my 5-year-old at the time was playing a simplified version, which is the great part about this game. So it can grow with your kids, with your family, and with adults.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I like that. Having the options to take out mean tiles or add them in is always really great, a great feature. I was looking at these different options. Lincoln just says, take the 5 points and run while you can. And so that's not a bad idea. And maybe I'll win this short demo. So I will just do that. The other one I was looking at was dig stone for 2 energy because I've been pushing lots of stone. So, but there's a lot of cool tiles out there. So it's definitely a good find on my part. Pat on the back a little bit. And that was all 4 actions. I don't have enough resources to buy a tool card or the correct resources. Oh yeah, I do. I picked up that stone. I forgot. I could get that hammer or chisel. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Unless there's some more valuable. Are some resources more scarce?
Well, the hip is a pretty good bone, and yeah, you might waste two fragments to get it, but it is a hip, and you'd be able to probably claim a dinosaur if there's one there with the hip.
So I can take the hip even though I don't have any plaster.
Yeah, because that's on a card. Yeah.
Ah. Well then,
so the card
that
just
actually
gives
might
you
not
bones
be so bad.
Yeah. Okay, so right now there's not a dinosaur with a hip.
Nothing needs a hip.
But it does give you a hip.
You know what? I'm not worried that you'll snag it for me, so I'll just hang on to my resources for now.
Sounds good.
But that was a good turn. That was good. We do have a few more minutes, so I don't know if you want to do another turn or if there's other things you want to talk about in the game, or everybody wants to know when and how we can get this game because it does look amazing. And
yeah, sure. So if you want to talk about that, the Kickstarter copies are in transit. I've been told that everything should be delivered by the end of November. So stuff should start getting to backers, I think, in the next 2-3 weeks. I mean, I can't wait to get mine.
Yeah.
And Kids Table is also doing pre-orders that will start mid-November on SPIEL.digital. So you can pre-order it there. And the street date for retail, I believe, is sometime in early December.
Oh,
so
great.
That's when it will be available.
Nice. Just in time for the holidays. Everybody can
that's great.
Gift it. It looks really cool. I'm really glad we could play a few rounds. It's thinky and it has a fun theme. I love that you're uncovering these little like dino bones. I think that's it's so clever and fun. Do you already have expansions in the work or anything?
I have one in mind. Whether Kids Table wants to make one, we'll see.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I definitely have ideas for where it can go.
There's a question in the chat. My son is sitting next to me and he loves it. Will there be a German version?
German version.
Do you know?
I'm not sure at the moment. I know we have a Spanish version and a Chinese version. But yeah, I don't know about German just yet.
Okay, so hopefully. I mean, there isn't that much words, though the tiles do have words, so I can see how there could be a language. But there'll probably at least be translation rules that pop up. But for the most part, it's pushing
description
tiles.
of the dinosaur, though, right? So in those cases.
Oh yeah, if you want to learn all about the dinos.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of flavor text on the cards, which is good because
really cool.
I grew up loving dinosaurs, so part of it was, obviously kids love them and definitely want to teach a bit too.
No, yeah, I love that all. Did you do all the facts yourself, or did you have somebody else do all the facts for you?
No, actually, a lot of them I had written a lot of them, and I think a bunch of them made it to the end of the game, into the game. I know Sean Jackaman as well, who works with Kids Table. I know he looked a bunch up as well when we were trying to find more. The challenge was once we added the set collecting in, it was finding the right dinosaur that had the right sets to have enough in each. So that was really
in each of the set collection. Yeah. No, that's great. We did have a question about the box size, and if Lincoln doesn't mind putting that box back into that frame for us, that'd be great. I don't know the size of the box. It kind of yeah. It looks.
I think if you have a game by Kids Table, like Rec Raiders, I'm pretty sure it's the same size.
Oh, the Rec Raiders. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Like almost like a standard Karuba size box, almost something like that. But yeah, there's a lot in that box. That's for sure.
It does. It looks great on the table. I'm so happy to see it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous production. As we know, you're very proud, and we're proud for you because we all want to play it now.
Thanks. Yeah, Kids Table, Helena, Josh, and Sean, they did a great job in helping me develop it and make it the final product it came out to be. And also, big props to Apolline Etienne for doing our artwork.
Yeah, great job. Well, I thank you so much, David, for coming on and showing off Kids Table board games. Fossilis, your own title. So it's been a pleasure to have you here and tell us all the little details about the game. I love that.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.